Welcome to Miss Martin Muses and Pub Crawl. It's another hour, our 8th hour, where we are officially entering alcohol poisoning, and I am with none other than the marvelous, the handsome, the charming, the brilliant Lethal Lightning.
Oh, what a terrific intro. I'm sorry to disappoint you. I'm actually not drinking at the moment. I don't really drink much alcohol anymore. Um, Ever since Easter, I've made the decision to significantly scale back on alcohol. And so far, it's going well. Doesn't mean I've completely quit drinking. I don't think I ever could, but I've had to cut back on alcohol. So I think for the 8th hour, I'm probably the most healthiest one at the moment.
There you are. He's our designated driver. Well,
Yeah, I am now. Yep.
well, since we're all sharing, I have a date of 2018, if you know what I mean. So yes, no alcohol for
Oh,
me either. So
yep. Completely
six
none?
6 years, I think, coming up on. Yeah.
Not a drop.
I will not say not a drop, but I have had, like when I went to Ireland, I did have a glass of Guinness, for
Huh.
example, and stuff. But the bad habit, if you catch my meaning, yes, that's
Yeah,
so.
I'm completely the same. I
Mhm.
understand.
Yes. So in any case, it's a play acting. It's a metaphor. We've had a few people that do drink on it, but not many. Not many. I actually have some cookie flavored coffee I'm drinking with cream. So
Oh, I just got some basic coffee.
ah. Well, there we are. Okay, well, before we move on, let's say hi to our guest. It is none other than Corey Cochran. Hello, Biggles is here. Hi, Biggles. Gravy D. Uh, Bigglesmith says he is an Aussie alcohol poisoning is a myth. Howdy, y'all, says Akrot. Briggle says, I broke a half years of no drinking to drink with Lyndon. Ah, well, there you are. Howdy. Well, I think it's a matter of social drinking, like true social drinking. There's nothing wrong with that. Lethal
Don't,
isn't
don't,
charming.
don't listen to her. She's crazy.
How dare you blabbering? He is incredibly charming.
Yeah, incredibly charming.
Yeah, there you are.
Yeah, so
So,
alcohol, like to me, is something I think I started drinking too early in hindsight.
mhm.
Um, and it kind of just hit a stage where I had to say, no more. I can't keep doing this.
Mhm.
Alcohol's always been a bit of a demon, but
Mhm.
a fun demon.
Yeah. Cunning, baffling, and powerful. Yes.
Yeah,
Well,
it's
I
both the
always,
best nights I've had and the worst nights I've had.
all I ever tell people is that I am a teacher, and then they completely understand.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But in any case, but there's loads of alternatives. I've become a tea connoisseur, and there's a lot of actual virgin drinks you can mix up that are very, very good and very tasty and very fancy. So you can
Mm,
always try them around. They might be a little bit girly though, so I don't know if that would be one for you.
that's all right. I'll just stick to coffee and water and
Uh,
orange juice.
there we go. But Lethal is so charming that David is jealous. I'm not sure who David is. Um, Taylor Swift greater than Disney Star Wars. I mean, I know about 200 Davids. Whoa, Lethal is a Gronk.
It's not very nice. Fuck you. Okay, you don't get it.
I was about to say that's a bad word, isn't it? Oh my
A
god.
gronk is a dumb, smelly person.
Oh, well, that is harsh. You know who David is. I do? Uh, oh, that David. Okay, he's talking about Once Upon a Time. Never mind. Gosh, you guys are so mean to Lethal. How dare you be mean to my guest? I guess he's used to it, but they do that a lot to you on your shows, don't they? In the Full Aussie and in your video games.
Yeah, they're assholes.
Mm-hmm. Oh, well, we're coming up with the holiday season. You got anything weird or wild coming up?
Um, we have the Gronkies next week, which is the only good gaming award show in the history of all time. We do that on my gaming channel, so that's going to be fun.
Oh,
It's
I,
called the Gronkies.
oh, okay. The Gronkies, and is that something that you do yourself, right?
Yeah. Well, I
Oh,
do have a few people. Yeah.
okay, because I've been seeing some of your content that there's been a lot of shit stuff going on with the gaming community and their awards and things have been really dodgy.
Yeah. So we had to make our own.
Mhm.
We did it
Uh,
last year and it was really good, but this year's going to be even better.
Awesome. Well, speaking of even better, and speaking of Blabs, hello Blabs. It's part of her contract. Oh boy. Oh dear. I get
Yeah,
5
bought it.
beatings a week would be 6 if I didn't insult him.
True.
Uh, well, you all had a meetup down there. You had
We
what?
did. Yeah,
Mazakon.
we did. Yeah, MozzaCon for Mozza's birthday. So everyone came down. Even Blabs made the pilgrimage down. She had a
Mhm.
lot of fun while she was here. It was a really, really good time. Um, we went to a few places. Rhino is insane.
Okay.
Disney Star Wars has fucked him up.
I knew he should have stayed away from it. It's like drinking poison every day.
Yeah, it's not good. It's not good.
Okay, so did he do something wild or anything, or is it just
Nah, it's just terminal. It's just Disney Star Wars has terminally hurt him.
oh shit? Well, I'll tell you what. I speaking of going cold turkey, I went cold turkey on that back quite a while ago, and I have been a lot happier. I haven't been watching Ahsoka. I haven't been watching the stupid Kenobi show. I
Yeah, I never
just
saw that.
pretend it doesn't exist.
I haven't seen any of the shows. I haven't seen the last movie.
Oh, yeah. Gosh. Oh, the Rise of Palpatine or
I've
Skywalker.
seen like little clips here and there, mostly memes, but I haven't actually seen the movie.
Yeah. It
That's
was a
fair from Biggles. You didn't give me enough time. We
oh, to
talked
go
about it for like 2 months, Biggles.
yeah, come on. Can't you get up enough money to go to Australia? What's wrong with you? Well, who knows? One of these days. It's a little bit on my bucket list, but to go to Australia. But dang it, from where we are, it is a long way, and you got to fork out some money for it. So,
Yeah, I think Blab spent. Oh gosh, Blabs did 2 flights that were like 14 hours long or something.
mm-hmm. Yeah. So maybe my dream is that I'll take like a luxury cruise.
Oh, that'd be nice.
Yeah, and then just go that way so I don't have to be on a flight with all those people. I hate people. Lethal is gearing up to poison himself with Halo. Oh, is that upcoming?
It is.
Oh shit. Hello, everybody. Thank you for all being here. Remember her, Lethal.
Don't say those words. They're trolling me. They're trolling me. Mad Max is one of my all-time favorite franchises, and as much as I've despised Fury Road, to me that's worse than Last Jedi. This new one, Furiosa, is looking even worse, and
Oh,
they keep bringing it up.
oh, I see. So that's what it has to do with. Yeah, I've never been into Halo, but I remember when it was on, and they did a bunch of really weird stuff with the TV show. Like,
Oh, weird stuff. Not just bad stuff, weird stuff.
mhm,
Hey, here's a fun fact that I told a lot of people during the show.
mhm.
Do you know what a female cuck is called? It's
No,
called it's called a cuck queen.
a cuck
And
queen.
yep, and in the show they turned Cortana into a cuck queen.
Oh, well, that's yeah. Again, I'm not familiar, but no one wants to watch a cuck queen. Oh my gosh, that's
Well, she watched them fuck.
oh my gosh.
Yeah, cuck queen.
Oh, that is ridiculous. Who the hell
Called
wants to
cuck queen.
watch that?
Well, a lot of people. It turns out. It turns out a lot of people like to watch their significant other
Oh,
railing someone else.
oh, yeah. Well, what people do in their bedroom is their own business. I guess I'm thinking of who wants to watch that on a TV show. Watch a
Paramount
weirdo.
people, apparently. Apparently, the people at Paramount.
A bunch of sickos.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, yeah, they seem to be doing that in a lot of cases lately. They did some weird stuff in the Wheel of Time. I haven't even bothered watching that. They messed up The Witcher. I mean, I just can never get over the fact that you have Henry friggin' Cavill and you managed to mess it up and have him
So
leave the show.
Season 1 I thought was okay at best, but I just wasn't really loving it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, First episode of season 2 I quite enjoyed, but I just never went back after that. I never saw the second episode,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm glad I didn't.
Yeah, because it just went to hell in a handbasket. But I am playing through the video game. I got talked into that by Steeg, so I've
Mm.
been at it. Yeah, it's fun. So it's like, okay, that'll be my Witcher fix, and
Okay,
so
so there's the question then: Yennefer or Triss?
I'm a Yennefer person.
Oh, let's go! Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, agreed, agreed.
Yeah, and I was warned that if I want him to get together with Yennefer at the end, I need to not screw Triss. I can screw anyone else, but if I screw Triss, it ruins everything.
Absolutely.
Yeah, women.
Yeah,
Speaking of Trish, she's Yennefer. Okay, the Witcher animated film was good. Oh, I didn't even know that there was one. Oh,
I didn't
hello.
see it.
Yeah, hello everyone coming in. So yeah, it again. It's just a repeated broken record on repeat that they take these things and they totally mess them up, and then people get mad and they quit watching it, and then they take another franchise and do that again, like they're doing with the Rings of Power. We're about ready to come up with season 2 of that, and it it just sounds like it's going to be worse than the first season, which I didn't think possible.
Oh, I mean, in this day and age, I've come to believe it can always be worse.
Yeah.
Hey, remember when we all thought Last Jedi was the bottom of the barrel of bad, and now we're looking back going, oh, there's extra levels underneath the barrel.
Yeah, it's like they're like, hold my beer.
Exactly. We got that Obi-Wan show and shit like that. It's like, oh yeah, it gets a lot worse.
Yeah, they did it with Willow.
Willow,
Mhm.
yeah.
Ugh. Yeah, I didn't even watch it, but this time around, I am gonna watch Rings of Power. At the time, I wasn't in a psychological place where I could
Rings of
handle it.
Power.
Yeah, but this time around, I'm gonna take the poison. Because
Fuck me, that looks like it's the worst show ever made. Rings of Power.
oh, I mean,
So let me
it's
get this straight. She has this giant key that she puts into the ground, and that's how Mordor is created.
yeah, it makes a volcano.
Yeah, it makes Mount Doom,
Yeah, exactly. And they all get hit with volcanic blast, and all
and
they
they're all
have.
totally fine.
Yeah, it's like they would have been incinerated.
Yep, yep.
And then they were all like, "You'll never guess who Sauron is," and everyone's all, "We guessed him before the show even started."
Oh boy.
So, ugh. And they've got all sorts of stuff planned. So I think that at first I think I was concerned that it was going to mess up my happy memories of the Lord of the Rings and the books and the beautiful story, but it is so unrecognizable that I can do it and just laugh at it.
How the heck does like a show from Amazon with a cajillion, bajillion, zillion dollars actually somehow look worse than a 20-year-old movie? Like visually, just looks. I'm not talking about the acting. I'm not talking about the writing or anything like that. Just visually looks worse.
Yeah. Well, it's like that quote that kept going around: "Evil cannot create. If you're not creative, it doesn't matter how much money you can throw at something. If you don't have the divine spark into your art." And this certainly didn't have it. Yeah, there is a tempest in her. Now that became a euphemism for
It's so
EMS.
bizarre. All the money in the world, and it just visually looks like shit. And yet we have that new Godzilla movie, which I quite enjoyed.
Mm-hmm.
Because that looks fine. I mean, there's a few
Yeah.
parts here and there where you're like, oh, that's a little bit iffy. But
Mm-hmm.
for the most part, it looks fine. It looks good. And it's
Yeah.
a fraction of the budget.
Exactly. Hell, I just recently watched Velocipaster, which was basically filmed on a guy's cell phone in the backyard, and it was better than the Rings of Power.
Wow.
Yeah, my nephew talked me into that. But no, you're absolutely right. I haven't seen the the one, but it just goes to show that you, it's not the special effects, it's not the scope, even though that was something that was always really cool, like about the Lord of the Rings trilogy and even the Star Wars trilogy, the original Star Wars trilogy. But if there's not something divine, if you will, divine, whatever it is, whatever, however you define it within your art, it just won't happen. And they were just so proud of themselves. They thought they could just put the name Lord of the Rings on it and people would watch. They didn't realize that people weren't watching just because it had the name. People were watching because they loved the story.
Yeah, but Lord of the Rings fans are a bit different. Lord of the Rings fans just reject. They just outright reject trash that comes their way.
Mm-hmm.
They don't want nothing to do with it. Lord of the Rings fans are a bit different from everyone else. I mean, Star Wars fans accept anything and everything that's thrown their way. They don't care. They'll just accept it and love it no matter what. The Lord of the Rings fans, nah, they're different.
No. Well, and being one, it's really difficult because I come out sounding incredibly snobby.
Well,
So
I
it's
just
not.
bagged out a whole fan base, so I think you're fine.
Yeah, but it's true. I mean, we're readers, we're scholars, we're historians, we're linguists, we're all the music and all of it. I've read all the letters. I have 30 years of fracking research on this shit. I've done speeches on it. I did a speech series back in the 2000s. So yeah, I'm not gonna sit and go, oh, I'm gonna watch PMS Galadriel. It's like,
Yeah.
no. It's like we're not stupid.
But like, the modern day Star Wars fan is the idiot of the nerd world.
Mm-hmm.
And that's so sad to say.
Yeah.
10 years ago, that was just not the case.
Mm-mm.
If you told me 10 years ago that Star Wars fans would become the fucking retards of the nerd world, I wouldn't have believed you, man. But now you look at it and you're like, wow. Like, if you are a modern day Star Wars fan, you should be bullied and publicly shamed. You really should be.
Oh no. Well, a lot of people do it, but they usually ask for it. Part of me is like, if you don't want to be bullied, don't go. Like they'll go into threads and say, "Why are you being so mean?" I'm like, "Stay away, stay away."
Yeah, you deserve it.
Yeah, it's oh, well, I will say that I'm still a fan of the original 6 movies and the EU, and they can't take that from me. But anything else, I consider that non-canon. So,
If
take.
you're one of the people that's like, oh my God, it's the current Disney Plus show, it's the best show ever. And then the next one comes out. Oh my God, it's the best thing ever since
Mhm.
ever. Like, nah, you get no, like what you like and all that type of stuff, but you get absolutely no respect from me. I don't consider you a human being. You're probably a bot.
Yeah.
These people are all weird. It's always the same thing. It's the best thing since the last thing. And this is what they say when they try to sound like they are a fan. They try to say this. It's the best thing since The Empire Strikes Back. And you're just sitting there going, you say that all the fucking time.
Mm-hmm.
It's
'Cause
like
they
how
know
every comic book movie is the best movie since The Dark Knight. Like, I've heard that for the past like 15 years.
Yeah, and first of all, not everything can be the next Empire Strikes Back or the next Dark Knight, but certainly not this garbage. I saw people just going crazy over, oh, look at little baby Leia, Princess Leia, and I'm just like,
Not only that, people were prepared to forgive everything because a CGI Luke Skywalker walked into a room.
oh, yes,
That's all it took. That's all it took. A CGI Luke Skywalker to walk in the room and everything was forgiven. And then you have people like my friend Raging Rhino going, holy fuck, what is wrong with you people? And he's the one that gets attacked and mocked and made fun of. And then Gina Carano gets fired. And now all of a sudden, a lot of people are Team Rhino.
You said the quiet part out loud, didn't you?
Well, it's true.
It's true. Uh-huh. Oh yeah, I see it. I sit and watch. I'm an anthropologist. I study these things, and you are absolutely right because people wanted to well suck up to her, I guess, and 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 it was a very marked shift. I remember it happening, and people didn't even like Gina Carano at first. Her
People didn't
character.
like the show at first, and then
Mm-hmm.
that changed, and then it changed back.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Notice me, senpai. And but since you brought up Raging Right, I'll just say this, but he's been writing it well.
And he's
He's
been right. He's been
I
right a lot of this time. As much as I like to make fun of him because he keeps abusing himself.
yes, but there's got to be one person out there really doing it, taking one for the team, and it's helped his channel's doing great, and it it really is cathartic sometimes to just kind of yell about it. I just hit a wall on it about 2 years ago. I'm like, okay, I don't have any energy of rage left. I
Yeah, that's kind of what happened to me. I sort of just hit this point where I'm like, I'm not angry anymore.
hmm yeah, it's just that it just doesn't even exist. But I do understand about you know giving him a hard time, and that's just perfectly fun because that's part of what we all do too. Hello, Monday Mando. So yeah, and everyone that's coming in, great to see you all. So I don't know. I think it's funny though that there's been people that have pretended that once Ahsoka happened, oh, now I'm done with it. It's like, well, where have you been for the past friggin' 10 years?
Yeah, it's weird. I understand everyone has their own limit,
hmm
but it's like you're totally okay with that Obi-Wan show just making a mockery of the original movie,
hmm
but Ahsoka's where the line's drawn.
Yeah, what they did to Hayden and Obi-Wan, well, both of the characters, and Darth Vader is the quintessential Star Wars character, and they turned him into
Idiot.
an idiot, a loser,
I
and
saw this thing, and I don't know how true it is, but
mhm,
this person went through all the fights that he's had
mhm.
um in the Disney continuity, and it turns out he's lost more fights than he's won. So it's like, why is the galaxy scared of this asthmatic freak?
Oh yes, exactly. Yeah, they've diminished him. They've diminished his menace. Oh gosh,
It
it
used to
makes
be
me
like,
pissed.
oh fuck, Darth Vader's here, we're all dead.
Yeah,
But now it's like, Vader's here. Hold on, let me get my stick.
yeah, or let's like we just need to run, or was it there was one, wasn't there like a fire, and all Vader had to do was like walk around and something, and he
Yeah,
just stared at Obi-Wan. It was just so lame.
yeah, it was pretty lame.
Yeah. I mean, that's one of the things from The Empire Strikes Back, where he just was strangling his generals and his admirals left and right when they were screwing up.
Yeah.
And
And when he has that fight at the end, he's not even trying until right at the end.
mm-hmm.
I mean, he literally stands still. He stands still to throw things at Luke. He's not trying.
Yeah.
He stands still and lowers his lightsaber. But I don't know. Now he's just a joke.
Yeah.
Because I think Vader is like one of the coolest characters ever created in any medium ever.
Oh,
Right?
yeah.
Ever. But you look at him now, you're like, he's lame as fuck.
Mm-hmm.
He's shit.
Well, yeah. I mean, my entire life, and I saw Star Wars the first one when I was 3 years old. My only memory was being scared to friggin' death of Darth Vader, and
Yep.
he's been terrifying children, but also fascinating us for 40 years, and to make him like Gargamel. That's a analogy sometimes, that like in the Smurfs. Oh, those darn Smurfs keep
Yep.
outwitting me. Yes. And now they're doing it with Thrawn. They're turning Thrawn into an
Oh, I
idiot.
saw that. But to be fair, he was kind of an idiot in the Rebels show.
Well, yeah, but
But now he just seems like like he should be wearing a helmet.
yeah. he's, he's yeah, the one of the great geniuses ever Yeah. Well, I didn't watch Rebels, but yeah, I heard that they messed him up on Rebels. Well, to me, it wasn't Thrawn. Thrawn was from the original trilogy, and I've told you my story before that
Hmm.
when the original Thrawn trilogy came out, that was the first proper Star Wars books after the Return of the Jedi. It was the first Star Wars content we had, and yes, they said it was authorized. It was, and it was exciting, and we had to wait a year between the books, and when they came out you just sat and you just read and read and read till you were done. It was like Harry Potter when it came out, at least for me, for Star Wars fans. It wasn't as big,
Hmm.
of course, as Harry Potter, but that's how it was for us to find out, and how much we loved Mara Jade, and oh, it was just so good. So when they didn't go and try this, I like, how on earth could I even think of even letting my eyes rest upon it? It's like, I do not deign to see you.
From what I've seen of it, he's just a buffoon. He's a Scooby Doo villain. He's a buffoon now.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the Thrawn that I knew just needed like a couple handful of Star Destroyers, and he could come up with a plan to take on the New Republic.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas this Thrawn can have access to like a damn near entire Imperial armory, but he can't track down like 4 kids.
Yeah. It's, oh, gosh, it's ridiculous. Um, well, oh, Keck says teasing you about simping for Brie, but I'm on your side about simping for Brie.
Yeah, she's got a nice rack.
Yeah, she actually has been making the tours here in the United States at book signings, or not book signings, rather autograph signings and
Yeah.
appearances. And she makes a lot of money. She like $200 a pop. So, oh yeah, long before the Book of Boba Fett, it sucked, Hound.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I never saw Book of Boba. The only Book of Boba Fett stuff I saw was just clips of like that dude doing the spin and
oh,
the Power Ranger moment.
oh, I didn't even see that. I did see the spin thing.
The spin's funny.
It's like I said, they all just need to be wearing helmets and riding the short bus. Actually, that's an insult to people that ride the short bus.
Yeah, well, these people can be like on the short bus then.
There you go. And of course, Dave Filoni with his blow up doll Ahsoka.
Ah, that man is. Why do people still argue that Ryan Johnson did more damage? Like, yeah, Ryan Johnson did damage, but come on! After all these years, can we
Mhm.
not all agree that Dave Filoni's done more damage?
Oh, he absolutely has. Well, and he was behind some of the ideas and all that. He was right there signing off on it. Uh, yeah, so it's just bleh. And Ahsoka was kind of a cool character. I would be lying if I said I didn't like her back in the day, but now it's like Ahsoka's everywhere. She's everything. She's just taken over everything,
She's
and
the
it's
main character now.
yeah. They shouldn't even call it Star Wars. They should call it
So,
Ahsoka.
so
Yeah.
where was she during the original trilogy? Do we know that yet?
I don't know if they've actually told us, but it's just ridiculous, the whole thing, because the whole deal was that boy's our last hope. No, there is another. And it's like, no, Ahsoka's just hanging out on another city, another planet. It's
And how would she not track down Luke? Like, because
mm-hmm.
Luke became famous across the galaxy because he blew up the Death Star.
Yeah.
Everyone knew the name Skywalker. And,
Yes.
and, and she would be like, Skywalker? Oh, shit. Hold on, let me go find this dude.
Precisely. And it just makes her look like a ridiculous character because she didn't try to help the
Yeah.
rebellion. But no, she
Yeah.
comes afterwards. I don't know. It's see, this is what you can glean by not even watching it. All you have to
By
do
not
is
even watching it, yeah, and you can figure out how little sense it makes.
yeah, yeah, exactly. Oh, I saw some of that. He tried to compare Soka to Gandalf, and
He's always kind of, well, not always, but he's been doing that for a long time, hasn't he?
yeah, it's like, well, it's like you said earlier. People try to elevate what they have by comparing them to great literature or great characters or great movies. I don't know if they're thinking it's a subliminal message or whatever, but I mean,
No, what
first
it
of all,
is it's a vain attempt to convince themselves that they're good. That's all it
oh,
is. And
oh,
to get people to buy their shit.
yeah. But I think we have some brain cells because even now, the new toys and stuff that they're coming out with, they're just going back to the original series characters, the original trilogy
Oh, really?
characters. Yeah, they're coming out with Luke's and Chewbacca's and R2D2s and
But I
the.
mean, think about it. If you're like a kid, right?
Mhm.
And you see that on the shelf, you're gonna be like, Luke, oh, he sucks.
Yeah. And unless they've been well educated by their parents. Uh,
Yeah, but I mean, like, they're probably gonna see the sequels, right? Because that's gonna
mhm.
be like their generation of movies. And I mean, cool, whatever. But they're gonna look at a character like Luke and they go, "Oh, that old dude that just died on a rock."
Yeah, and not just that, who was an asshole to Baby Yoda, and
Eh,
Baby Yoda's what the little 3-year-olds are all dressing up in their pajamas with. So by the time they get to be teenagers, they're gonna think of him as that dick too.
and even Han Solo, they're gonna look at Han Solo and go, he was hardly around. Who cares?
Yeah, he's a guy who ditched his son and ditched his wife and died like a punk.
Yeah, just gets
Yeah,
shaped. So
yeah.
I don't know. Like, it's interesting because I don't think the newer generation would really care for those characters. If I was a kid, I wouldn't.
No, no, you're right. Maybe it's people our age that are buying the
Yeah, might be actually.
toys. We have the buying power, and then when they get older, that they're gonna. Oh dear, that's exactly what's gonna happen. But I there's a part of me though that kind of quit caring. Like I used to be a little more of a crusader on these things, and then I just realized we're not going to change anything. It's it's like Tolkien says, history is one long defeat. So you can't expect to have any sort of victory on this. But what you can do, in my humble opinion, is maybe look at the good stuff. So when good stuff does come out, go ahead and enjoy it, or look backwards, go back to the original Dungeons and Dragons and the Forgotten Realms, the Dragonlance. I've been discovering a lot of these because that just wasn't an area that I knew. And if you have a steady diet of good stuff, it can uplift you. And maybe now and then we're gonna get a few gems.
It's possible.
Hmm.
It's definitely possible.
Yeah, but they're not going to change. They have no incentive to. They have a money laundering scheme, I think.
Yeah, there's no reason for them to change.
No, no, they don't have any. They don't really care. But I don't know. It's it's funny though to kind of follow this because at the end of the day, it's like eating. It's a difference between eating a really cheap hamburger at a really bad gas station and having a gourmet meal. And the gourmet meal will always be better.
Absolutely. Every time. I mean, McDonald's can only get you so far.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it'll get you a heart attack. It'll get you a heart attack and up to 300 pounds. Yeah, who wants that? Well, you're
Well, a
allergic.
lot of people, it turns out.
Oh, well, yeah. Well, I think a lot of people are all having nervous breakdowns. Oh dear, the whole planet's having one, but we can still have fun while it's happening. Now, of course, you like the Lord of the Rings movies. I don't know. Have you ever read the books?
So I've got them.
Hmm.
I haven't I've never finished them,
Fair
but I
enough.
have read parts, but I never finished the series.
Yeah, it's
I've read The
it's.
Hobbit.
Oh, yeah, The Hobbit's cute. Yeah, yes, more for children, and I understand because it's kind of a different kind of book. It's not maybe what you would expect
Well, I
when you're
remember
reading.
at school, there was our copy of The Hobbit at school. It was a very big book. Like the pages were really big
Hmm.
and the text, like the lettering was really big as well. So it was very easy to read.
Uh huh.
So
Oh,
yeah, I've read The Hobbit.
Yeah, cool. Then that's a fun story. And then, the Peter Jackson trilogy, it was an adaptation, of course. It's not necessarily, but it was as a series of movies in itself. They were works of art, and they were very exciting, and in many places they brought to life certain iconic moments from the pages.
I think he did the best possible job anyone could do. I think when
Hmm.
it comes to adapting anything,
Hmm.
there's certain things in books that just will not work on screen.
Yeah.
And I do think Tom Bombadil is one of those things, actually.
Hmm.
I don't see how you can spend an hour of a movie talking about how evil this ring is and then just have him spinning it and flipping it around and all that type of stuff. I don't think that would work in a movie.
Hmm.
I also think when you adapt a comic book as well, there's certain things that just will not work on adapting anything. You can't, for the most part, do it 100% faithfully, especially when it's something like Lord of the Rings, because
Hmm.
there's a lot that would just look absolutely goofy on a
Hmm.
screen,
Yes.
regardless of the context of it. So I think he made the best decisions that anyone could possibly make. And at the time as well, Tolkien estate, it wasn't like it is now when you can just do anything and it'll be approved.
Hmm.
If they didn't like it back then, it would have been shut down on the spot.
Yeah, and they also had Christopher Lee looking terrifying because, of course, he was a huge fan of
Yep.
the books. Read them every year. No, I agree with
Is
you.
it true he wanted to be Gandalf?
Um, no, I believe it is true that Tolkien had said he might be a good Gandalf, and he might have.
Oh,
Yeah,
I don't know. I've got you. It's because of like Dracula. You're like, nah, you're the bad guy.
yeah. I haven't been able to find a source on the other part, like that he himself wanted to be Gandalf. So if anyone can find it, please send it to me because I've heard some rumors about the way Christopher Lee's attitude was on the set, but I haven't been able to find sources.
I
So,
think he was fantastic as Sauron. He just looks like a Sauron man.
oh hell yes, I couldn't imagine anyone else in those roles, or even McKellen as Gandalf. It was perfect.
Yeah, perfect.
Hmm.
And he was gay, and no one gave a fuck.
No, they didn't, and
There was
those
like two people online.
exactly. And the OneRing.net and all those shills tried to rewrite history and say he got bullied and all that, and everyone's like, no,
No, no, he
yeah,
didn't. Not only that, he's also Magneto, one of the best comic book characters ever created, and no one cares that he's gay in real life.
precisely.
You don't look at him and go, "That's a gay Magneto." You go, "Oh shit, that's a badass Magneto."
Precisely. They were trying to create a narrative, I think, to preempt the criticism of the show by saying, "Oh, it's just a bunch of racist, sexist trolls." That's what they always do,
Yeah,
and
never actually addressing the points.
not exactly, not at all. And well, I remember Gandalf, or rather the actor, he was nominated for Best Supporting Actor for the first one and brought a dude as his date, and
No
no
one
one
cares.
cared. No one cared because I don't know. Back then, maybe we separated the art from the artist, or maybe actually no one cared if an actor was gay. Oh, newsflash: an actor's gay.
Yeah,
What a
and I
shock!
reckon even back then, being gay probably wasn't as accepted as it is now.
Yeah,
And even back then, no one cared.
precisely. Precisely. It was ridiculous, and they just tried to make it all up because they suck. And
See, the reason why you've forgotten is because exactly that. No one cares. He doesn't go out of his way to make it his whole personality.
mm-hmm.
Like, if your whole personality is your sexuality, regardless of it's gay or straight or whatever, you are boring motherfucker.
Yes. I don't want to know what people are doing in their bedroom. Thank you very much. Let
Well, if
alone,
they can give me some ideas, I might listen.
oh, well, okay, true. But you know what I mean. Who introduces themselves? Hello, I like to sleep with men. Yeah, like for me, it's like,
Okay.
yeah, I prefer men who look like Mr. Darcy. No one cares. Okay,
Mm.
no one cares. But
Boring people that have no personality, they have no hobbies, they just have like zero charisma, zero social skills, modern day Star Wars fans most likely, and that's their whole life is their sexuality. You go, well, you're pretty boring then. For a gay dude, you're pretty boring.
Yes. It's just infuriating, though, when they try to gaslight people into saying stuff. And they were even trying to say Tolkien would have been okay with that. It's like, no, he wouldn't have been. Not Tolkien. I mean, I'm sorry, whatever you want to say about him. He was a very conservative traditional Catholic who lived in the 19th and the early 20th century. No, he wouldn't have been all on board with what you all were doing and all your activism, and Sam and Frodo were really gay kind of stupid stuff.
How do you think he would have felt about Ian McKellen?
I think he wouldn't have cared because just for the
It
same
wasn't his whole life.
Well, yes, it certainly wasn't his whole life, but also it's always been accepted that actors are gay. So
especially in Hollywood.
Especially Hollywood, but stage, and I shouldn't say all, but it pretty much is so. So it's like, did he never go to a Shakespeare play or whatever? The only difference between Tolkien in his life and today is people just wouldn't have been talking about it for a variety of reasons. He died in 1971, I believe, or was it 73? He died in 1973. So it just wouldn't have been on his radar. And he was very not much into giving a rat's rear end about the not just an adaptation, though he did do some critique of a possible one, but even all the fuss around the Lord of the Rings. He was a father of 4. He was a professor. He had so many other things on his mind that it just he was very impatient with people that were making fusses.
Yep. Yeah. Now, I personally think that Sam is the hero and not Frodo, at least based off the movies. And I find it frustrating when Mount Doom starts to blow up. They all start crying for Frodo, but they don't even utter Sam's name.
No crap.
And one of my favorite parts, it always makes me giggle. Always makes me giggle. Right at the end, after they've destroyed the ring, and Frodo wakes up in Rivendell, he totally doesn't know Legolas's name.
Oh, you're right. I've seen that. Yes.
He starts naming everyone as they come in, and then when Legolas comes in, he's like, "Oh, hey, buddy."
Yes.
And I'm trying to think, do they, in the movies at least, do they ever actually talk to each other?
Frodo and Legolas, we don't really see any interaction.
So, yeah, it makes sense that he forgot his name.
Yeah. To be fair, he only really seems to interact with Aragorn and Gimli.
Yeah.
I don't even remember him talking too much to the other hobbits. He's a snooty elf.
When, in the same scene, when Sam's there, and Sam's looking at him going, "Oh, we both know what happened in Mount Doom."
Yeah.
We both know that you flipped on us, you son of a bitch.
Yes, you failed, you bastard.
Yeah, yes. I know what happened up there.
Yeah. Well, and Frodo had to fail. Tolkien's written about that extensively in his letters, that he did it. He went as far as he was able to go, and fate, or whatever you want to call it, stepped in the person of Gollum. And that's why the moment when Bilbo doesn't kill Gollum in The Hobbit is so important. That if he had killed Gollum, then they would have all been screwed.
Yep, they never would have made it to Mordor.
Yes. So one of the things that Tolkien's talking about is, like, you never know what a small act of kindness or mercy, how that might come back on you later.
Yeah. You save someone's life, he'll end up biting the finger off your nephew and falling into lava.
Damn right. Damn right.
So just on the movies, which is your favorite?
Oh, out of all the movies, objectively speaking, it would have to be the probably the Return of the King,
Yep.
but I liked the Fellowship of the Ring better.
Okay. See, I think each one just gets better than the last, which is so rare in a trilogy.
Hmm.
How often in a trilogy do they fumble on the third?
Yes, even the original Star Wars
I'd
trilogy,
agree. Yeah.
yeah, Return of the Jedi had its moments that kind of sucked. Yes, the the reason why I say I liked the Fellowship of the Ring more, maybe because it was introducing us. We got the hobbits. We got that magnificent sacrifice from Boromir, which was
Yeah.
always one of my favorite parts in the books, even. Then, but Return of the King was just so friggin' magnificent.
I think Fellowship has probably one of my favorite shots, and it's when the Urukai are there, and the camera kind of like goes like a bird's eye view
Hmm.
and pans over, and it shows you the distance between them and Frodo.
Oh gosh,
Yeah, let me see if I can find it.
yeah, and the music too. The music is
Yeah, they have the best theme
unbelievable.
music ever.
Yes.
Oh, every time I hear that, I feel like just running and just starting chasing people.
Exactly. Well, and I'm thinking also of Gondor because
Oh,
I'm a Faramir simp. So and
yeah.
the music is so good and so majestic when you see it, and you know that the king has returned, and Faramir's gonna be the Prince of Athelion and the steward, and it's all gonna be great for a while, probably. Yes, a lot of people are saying Two Towers are their favorite.
Two
It.
Towers is great.
Mhm. Yeah. I have a bit of a bone to pick with Two Towers. That was the movie where the changes distracted me the most. Maybe
The
it's
Elven Army at Helm's Deep.
well, the Elven Army at Helm's Deep, the Faramir, who's my favorite character, and the way that they made him bad. In the books, he didn't want anything to do with the ring. He said, "I think I know what you're talking about, but I wouldn't pick it up if it was laying along the side of the road." So he was tempted by the ring, but he had the grace to just say, "Keep it away from me." But in the movies, he's like, "Ha, my dad's gonna like me now, and I'm gonna take Frodo." And then there's gonna be a random thing with the Witch King. It was really jarring for me to see that. Oh, whoops.
I think I found it.
Yeah, here we go.
So I'm going to keep it muted because it will probably get taken down.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, this is it.
Oh yes,
Where
yes.
Yep,
Hell
where it
yes.
starts to go into a bird's eye view. Yeah, that's probably like my favorite shot of the whole trilogy.
Oh,
Yeah, fuck yeah, I agree. Fuck yeah.
yeah. Nice. Yeah. You see, that was so good. And, oh, perfect casting, dressing, music, and timing. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like, what's his name? Orlando Bloom. Like, yeah, he's a bit of a femboy, but mate, that's Legolas.
Yeah, he's an elf. What can we say? And the girls loved him, all the little teeny girls, which was a
Yeah,
terrible thing because then that led to a lot of some of the ridiculousness they did in the Hobbit movies, but that's a whole other
I would
disaster.
argue it actually started with Return of the King when he solos when he takes down one Elevanti by himself,
Oh, yeah, the
and
all
he's like climbing up it while like the giant saddle's like falling over and stuff, and then slides off the trunk. That's kind of where the whole well, at least as far back as I can trace it, I reckon that's kind of where the whole God Legolas started.
you are correct, and I think that scene was added because of his fame. You're right. That was ridiculous.
That was ridiculous. That was the moment. That was probably the worst. Worst sounds bad. That was probably the one moment in the movie where you're like, oh, bullshit.
Yeah. If he were to go and delete that moment, I would be perfectly okay with that. And they also made Gimli more and more comical.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But despite that, those are secondary issues.
Oh, but he has good fight scenes to balance it out.
True. True. And but nothing is more beautiful than the scene when Sam picks up Frodo and carries him, and
Yeah,
yeah.
that's nice. I absolutely love, even as a kid, I was all about the Nazgul. I'm like, that's just the coolest shit, man.
Yeah.
The black horses, the fell beasts, and all that stuff.
Yeah.
That shit was so cool.
Gosh, yeah. And then of course when Eowyn kills the Witch King, that is such an iconic moment, and to see that on the
Mm,
screen.
yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I
Even
love
though
it how when Frodo gets stabbed
mhm.
at Weathertop, and it's like when I think it's in the second movie. It is in the second movie, I
Wait, on
think.
Weathertop that was the first movie.
No, he gets stabbed in the first one, yeah, but I think it's in the second movie where the blade starts to hurt again because he's near the Witch King.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's fucking awesome.
Yeah. And it stays with him his whole life.
Yeah, doesn't it get deeper, a little bit deeper every year?
Yes, and that's part of the reason,
See, I know
among
some
many,
stuff.
why he had to go to the West, and because of the great service he did, as he got, if you will, a ticket to go to the West. They didn't show this in the movie, but Eowyn actually gives him like her jewel, though it's not the Even Star. That's kind of made up. To that was her ticket, if you will, to go to the West. It was a symbol of her giving up her immortality, and
Yep.
it's very beautiful. So we
And
endorse this.
Gimli is the first dwarf to ever go.
That's true. That he, to be granted it, he at the end of his life. Gosh, yeah. See, those are the moments that I really wish they had kept in some sort of epilogue in the movie somehow,
Yeah.
because those were very beautiful moments.
And he's a Galadriel simp.
Hmm. Oh, gosh darn it. Yeah, and well, we just love it. That he was so in love with her, and oh, he talk about a simp. He was a simp for Galadriel. Just give me a few pieces of a strand of your hair, and then she gave me 3.
Yeah, you're a bit of a weirdo, dude.
Stalker. But oh well. But good for him. And there's lots of stuff also in the appendices about how they all still did hang out, because Mary and Pippin, they were in service, one to Gondor, one to Rohan, and they would go hang out with Awen and all them, and they'd all name their kids after each other. So it's nice to know that they had that fellowship after the events
Yeah,
of the
like
books.
I love how Merry and Pippin were buried next to Aragon because he was like, I swore an oath to always protect you. So they buried them together. Like, that's fucking awesome. Even as the King of Gondor.
See, that's what makes these things good, and that's what makes the books good too. Some of those details, and it inspires us to look higher. It inspires us to high fantasy and to go into another world. I mean, there's a reason why Tom Shippey said that Tolkien obviously is not the only fantasy writer, but he showed us what could be done with it, and it could be brought to a high level of high great literature. And he did so, and rightly earned the title of author of the century
Oh,
in a bunch of
I think we can go a bit higher than century.
well, maybe, yeah, but that was what at the end of the 20th century, that's what he got, and a bunch of the snobs were like, how dare you? But every time everyone came back like, no, he is the one. Yeah, maybe the author of this one too. I'm going through the Wheel of Time books right now. I am really enjoying them, and I've been told that they're pretty damn good as well, like expansive and the like. But nothing can compare with the legacy that Tolkien gave us.
I have never read them.
No, well, they're bricks. I've only read the first one. I'm in the middle of the second one right now, and there's 14 to be done. But I love, or rather admire, Robert Jordan, because I've studied his life. I did a biography here on my channel plug, and he died, of course, before he could finish them, but he left behind notes and all that for someone else to finish. So he thought of his fans, and that's how Brandon Sanderson came to like superhero writer stage because he was chosen to finish the Wheel of Time.
Hey, on the subject of fantasy books, I got something I can show. I'm screen sharing. So
Okay.
this was really, really, really big when I was a child. It's called Del Toro Quest. These are actually like kids' books, okay? But
Uh-huh.
they're a bit mature for children books. Emily Rodder. So this was like an Australian thing here.
Oh.
This was absolute. So there was like 3 series. So what we're looking at here is the first series. That's book 1, actually. That one there, right there. That's book 1. So this was kind of like what got me into fantasy. In fact, I
Oh.
still have this book here from the second series. That's called a Vrow. Each book had a monster or monsters that were a bit more prominent.
Mm-hmm.
And to keep it very simple, the land they live in is called Del Toro. And
Ah.
there's like this belt with gems in it. And the belt gives them like power to keep away. I think he was called the Shadow Lord who lives in the Shadowlands. And the
Oh.
gems have been scattered and they've been given to one monster in like each area to defend. So each book they have to go into like a different area and collect another gem to restore the belt. So this
Wow.
was fucking awesome, man. So the first one was all about them getting the belt back together. The second one, they went into the Shadowlands to fight the Shadow Lord. That's my favorite monster, man. The Vrow. That shit was so awesome. And then the third one, they had to deal with dragons, and they made a kids show about it as well. But yeah, this is kind of what got me into. This also did a big part for like getting children to read in general.
Yeah. I've
In fact,
never heard
actually,
of these.
give me one
Yeah.
second. Let me see if I can find something.
Yeah. Well, and what you have that gives you that great love, it always has a special place in your heart. Yeah, for me, it was the Lion, Witch, and the Wardrobe, the Chronicles of Narnia. That was the first real fantasy I read, and then, of course, The Hobbit. Yeah,
So
that was.
that's book 3
Mhm.
of the second series. And this one they have to
Oh,
collect the flute, and the flute's broken up into 3 pieces.
uh-huh.
That's how you could tell what number the book was, because there was like if this was like a book 3 in a series, they'd have the third part. If it was like the book 5 on the first series, they'd have the 5th gemstone.
Oh, that is so cool.
Yeah. So very easy to read.
Yeah.
Looking at all like the snakes and shit. Yeah, this stuff was awesome, man. This is kind of what got a lot of my generation into reading. Because you look at the monster on the cover, you'd be like, oh, that looks awesome. And then you start
Yeah.
reading it.
Well,
Emily Rodder's her name.
in Lee Rosen, yeah, I'm looking it up here. I think that they're quite expensive over here, but sometimes I can find things like this in bookstores or sorry, secondhand bookstores. I love to go there because a lot of these companies I don't want to necessarily give them money, so I'll keep my eyeballs open because those look cute. Because I love reading teen or children's literature sometimes because you need something a little light to.
Yeah, this was it's very much a kid series. Like no one's head's gonna get cut off or anything like
Mhm.
that. But there was times where you're like, okay, this is pretty mature.
Yeah,
Like there was death and stuff, but it wasn't like graphic.
sure. Well, and I think that children's literature needs to have that. You need to not coddle the children, and children can handle adult themes because they're experiencing it themselves. Children aren't sitting around tiptoeing through a bunch of feathers and all of that. They're living real life as well.
Yeah. Nah,
Yeah.
this did a good job of, not pushing it too far.
Mhm. Yeah.
But definitely something worth checking out. If you can find it online, I would recommend reading the first book just to get a gist of it.
Yeah, they're saying here on my thing that I can get it on Kindle rather cheaply, but oh my gosh, my stupid cat. But but you had to buy them. It's like $40. Like, damn.
Really? Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
it must be shipping. It's got to be shipping for that, because maybe if they don't have them around here. But I can always maybe look on eBay and see what I can do, because I found a lot of really good things through eBay that didn't make it to the United States.
Yeah.
But that's just really special that you shared it. Yeah, I'm gonna pretend you didn't say that. Heck, I will not acknowledge that that at all. And I'm aware that Faramir did not look the way he was described in the book, but I can get over that because they wanted Sean Bean for Boromir, so that's what they had to do. And for me, also, as far as comics that got me into comics, there was something in Ireland called Mandy Magazine for Girls, which the was just, cute little girl stories about puppies and orphans and things, and those were loads of fun as well, and they even had some fantasy elements. So um these things start when we're young, and they're still treasures, and I think that's special. So thank you for sharing that. That was great.
Yeah, it's a
um
pretty cool series.
mhm, yeah. And well, are you reading anything right now, or do you have time?
Just some manga at the moment, actually.
Mhm.
And I wish I had a bit more free time to read. I really do.
Yeah. Well, I was gonna say you're very busy. I know with your job and everything, the, and streaming and gaming and all this great stuff. Well, as we're gonna get ready to go into our pub game, the Roll20, I always like to give my guests an opportunity to maybe, if there's anything you want to get off your chest or something you haven't said already about, well, almost anything. Gonna hand the microphone over to you.
Go check out Del Toro.
Oh, there you go. Well, I'm intrigued. I want to find it. I'm going to try to find it on eBay. So, all right. So go get Del Toro and F Disney Star Wars and any fans.
Yeah.
Oh dear. Oh dear. Alrighty. Well, as we go into roll 7, I always remind the chat that you can participate as well with these questions. I roll a D20 7 times, and
Can
they
I
have.
show one more thing? Sorry.
Oh, no. Go right ahead. Go right ahead.
Okay. I was just going through some images and I came across this one. So this is one of the monsters in Del Toro, and he's a giant slug thing, but he has this tunnel that they have to go through, and you can see there's people there, like in all the walls and stuff, that he's like killed and like put his slug stuff on them and turned them into part of the walls, kind of like Alien. But I always, and looking back in hindsight, it's very clearly Shelob inspired.
Oh, okay. Yes, that's the spider thing. I'm looking with the
Yeah,
eyes.
same type of thing. They have to go through a tunnel, and that's the monster that's in there. And if I remember correctly, it can feel your footsteps as long as you're in the tunnel.
Oh, fuck that.
Through like the slug goo stuff.
Oh, I can see how as a kid that would be like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, and look at it, man. Like they did such a good job with the monsters.
Yeah.
They weren't your Scooby-Doo level of monsters.
Oh. Soul Assassin
Yes,
has some.
they did make an animated series about it, a cartoon. I need to rewatch it. I remember watching it and being like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
Not terrible, but is what it is. I feel like I just let it a bit too late to become a thing.
Yeah, and of course, I probably will want to experience them as books first, because that's always where the true magic is with those. Oh boy. Well, okay then. Oh yeah, Biggles is already playing the game. Wait, you don't know what we're gonna roll. You don't know what we're gonna roll, Biggles. All right, here. First roll. E20. Lethal. What fiction character do you wish were real?
Miss Misato.
Oh, who's her? She.
The most beautiful, perfect woman to ever not exist.
Oh, okay. Am I going to feel very stupid that I don't know who that is?
No, you're not.
Okay. Well, he loves her too. Is it a manga thing or a?
Yeah, from an anime, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know too much about it. Okay, well, Misato, well, I'll Google her for sure and see how pretty she is. And I guess since I'm a woman, I'm supposed to be jealous of her because we're very petty that way. Fifth, where do you feel most out of place?
Where do I feel most out of place?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Where do I feel most out of place? Around Disney Star Wars fans.
Oh, there you go. Because I was gonna say you fit in just about anywhere, but yes, Disney Star Wars fans sitting around, Raylos, all of that. That's fair. All right, roll 3. What's the one thing you can't live without?
Coffee.
Oh, yeah. Life without coffee is not worth living.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have a particular favorite brand?
Nescafe Blend 43.
Ooh, that's very specific. Okay. Do you drink it with cream and sugar or
Just a
milk?
little bit of milk, no sugar.
A little bit of milk, no sugar. All right. Nescafe 43. I don't know if we have that over here.
It's very cheap.
Yeah, it's instant. Well, I remember it in Ireland. But sometimes you can see these things like they'll have international aisles, but they'll be like really expensive.
Hmm.
Oh, roll 4. What's your favorite TV show and why?
Okay, my favorite TV show is probably Oz. It's not the I don't think it's the best show ever made, but it is my favorite, and I like it because of how unapologetic it is and how ridiculous it becomes.
Oh,
And every time you watch it, you're like, oh, yeah, that's right, they do this. Oh, uh oh. It's a very nasty show in a lot of places,
yeah.
but it's also pretty funny.
Okay. I've heard of it, but I never got around to watching it. How many seasons did it go for? How many series?
5 or 6, and the
5 or
last
6?
one is just completely stupid.
Oh, damn it. Why does that always happen? Okay. Well, there we go. Roll 5. What's the worst piece of advice you've ever been given?
Oh, shit. The worst piece of advice I've ever been given. Stay in school.
Mm,
School is not for everybody.
no.
You kind of reach a stage from the age of about 13, 14, you know if you like school or not. And if you don't like school, I believe you should be able to leave and go to a trade school.
I agree wholeheartedly.
A lot of people just don't fit in with school, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that.
No. And I can say as a teacher, we can tell when the kids don't want to be there and you almost feel awful. At least I have, because I'm like, you have to force these kids and be on them. It's like you got to do this work and all this, and you know their heart's not in it.
Yep.
It's ridiculous. I agree. I think that basic schooling, of course, elementary, maybe some middle school, what we call middle school here, but yeah,
Yep.
they should be given the choice. In many European countries, they do. I know in Germany they do, and in Scandinavia often you can choose whether to go the university track or to go to a trade school. And then by the time you're 18, you actually have a real skill.
Yep. And I think, well, my first job, the first ever job I have was as a concreter doing house foundations.
Mm-hmm.
And they called that the job that makes you go back to school. So sometimes that's not a bad thing. You're like, fuck school, I hate it. You get a job like that, and then you go, all right, I'm going back.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, that's true too. But I do think that there should be more freedom and more opportunities, and that resources can definitely be well. And it's a thing. It really is. And who knows, maybe we'll get to a little more than that. I didn't like being in school, though I was an academic. I didn't like all the trappings, at least when I got to here to America, because these schools are huge, and you're like,
Mhm.
it's like a pressure cooker. because it's got all socioeconomics, and they bus people in from all different areas, and then they throw us together, and it's like a big bomb going off, metaphorical. But so I didn't like that part of school. But yeah. Well, yeah, the Charlie Stevenson, the U.S. school assistance program for kids to go to university. Yeah, and most kids aren't. Most don't, and not everyone needs to. That's the other thing. It's a waste of time, and it's a waste of money. And I think people would be happier if they were allowed to pursue their dreams.
Yep. We got more
Yeah.
rolls?
Yeah, we do.
Awesome.
16. Sorry, I shouldn't say the number. What is the title? Oh, what is the title of the current chapter of your life?
Oh, wow. That's deep. The title of the current chapter of my life. Building.
Ooh. I like that. Do you want to expand? What are you building?
The rest of my life.
Nice. Nice. I approve. Excellent. Yeah, my title is "Fuck My Life," but that's a whole that's a whole other story. All right, and then last but certainly not least, if you didn't have to sleep, what would you do with the extra time?
I would get so much done. Oh, wow. Yeah, I actually think about this all the time. I wish I didn't have to sleep because I sleep very poorly as it is.
Mm-hmm.
But the problem is I get tired like everyone else. So I'll be absolutely exhausted and can't sleep. But insomnia actually runs through my family.
Mm.
And my grandmother, she has it something horrible. And I'm getting worried that I'm kind of getting her gene with it as well.
Oh, well, that sucks. I'm a professional sleeper, so I've never had trouble with that, but I definitely sympathize.
My problem is though, is like I'll reach a stage where like I'll fall asleep sitting down on this chair that I am, and I'll wake up like 30 minutes later. Like I'll have like little naps that I very rarely get a full straight sleep.
Wow.
That's why I always look a bit tired. How about we roll another one or two just for gigs?
Oh, okay. Just because I'll do anything for you, Lethal. I'll break the
Oh,
rules.
don't say that.
Well, nobody don't clip that, people. All right, 14. Oh, wait, I'm not supposed to say the number. Damn it. Okay, what would you do if you were the only human on Earth?
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. I don't know. I'm the only human on Earth.
Yep.
Oh, I guess everything's kind of pointless, Lynn.
Well,
I would. Yeah, what I would do is I would like film myself doing stuff in my day to day in the hope that one day there will actually be someone else or aliens or something.
oh. That's awesome. No one's come up with something like that. That is cool. So that they would know what humans were.
Yeah.
And they would always think of you when they think of humans.
Yeah, exactly. And I would just make up whatever story I want and no one can prove me wrong.
That's awesome. That's great. 2 thumbs up.
One more?
One more. All right, let's do one more. If you could remove one invention from the world, what would it be and why?
Oh, one invention. The one invention I would remove from this world is whatever sex toy Emma Stone's parents used to get themselves in the mood so that way she was never born.
Wow.
I don't like Emma Stone.
Well, you heard it here first on Miss Martin Muses. So shame on you, sex toy maker. Oh gosh, the crowd loves it. Oh yeah, Biggles always says communism when this comes up. Yes, we hate communism here at Miss Martin Muses too. Communism sucks. Yeah, so he says he hates Emma Stone so much that his acting coach is one of my favorite people on earth, or her acting coach. I must be an in joke. Well, there we are. Well, that's the end of our game, and we're gonna wrap up this party. Lethal, where can we find you?
In about 45 minutes, I'll be on the Weaves and Waifus channel, and we have a really cool guest that I think a lot of people are going to enjoy. I am working on some stuff on my main channel. See, my main channel's gone really weird. I don't know what's up with it, but I'm working on stuff. I haven't given up on it, but it's something really weird going on with that channel. I don't know. But on my gaming channel, Monday through Friday, we're doing a gaming show with myself, Nazma, Mozza, and then on Wednesdays we have Beardo as well, and Ryan Reaper's making a lot of videos out of that, so that's all going really well. So if you like knowing what's going on in the world of gaming, follow that channel. My main channel is kind of just whatever I want to rant about at the time, and full Aussie channel as well. That's where you'll find me.
Mm-hmm. Yes, so go ahead and subscribe to him,
It's a
follow him.
lot.
Yeah, you are a busy man. You're little pieces of you all over the place, but more lethal, more love. I endorse that. So I know that the links have been dropping through here, and I'll probably get some of those to the descriptions. And you can find me here in Miss Martin Muses, where I talk about what makes me laugh, makes me cry, makes me happy, makes me sad, or just really ticks me off. We're going to have more videos upcoming, and I will be able to get back to my daily shows. So please stay tuned. Please stay tuned as I work out my new schedule for the new year. Pub crawl, this is our last night, or sorry, our last hour, and we will be continuing with night 4 sometime over the holiday. So please keep that bell rung, and thank you for all of your support. So they're all dropping all the links. Thank you so much. Thank you to the chat. You've all been great. And of course, thank you to Lethal Lightning. So have a great
Thank you, Miss Smart Mutants, for having me. You absolute beautiful human being. And a huge shout out to the chat. Thank you all for being here. You got to remember, without people in the chat, it's just retards talking to a microphone.
Truth. And yeah, we wouldn't be here without you. And thank you for everyone that shows up and continues to. So have a great day. Have a great day, everyone. And be certain to go out and buy, what's the name of that book again? Del Toro
Quest. Subscribe to Miss Martin Muses. We need to get her monetized so I can give her simp bucks.
Oh yeah. Well, you can give me simp bucks. I can get super chats, so I just can't.
Oh, that's right. They lowered it. Yeah.
Yeah, but please do subscribe, because once I get to 1,000, then my videos will be able to give me money. So thank you for that. And I don't know about simping for a rose, but that's quite all right. Thank you, everyone. Have a great day. And yes, get that Del Toro. Or good evening, good afternoon, or wherever you are. Oh my gosh, look at you.
Simp bucks.
We got some simp bucks here. Let me see if I can work this out here. I actually have a thank you. So thank you, Biggles, for $2 for simp bucks. I appreciate simping. I endorse simping, especially if it's for me. And thank you very, very much. Yeah, I made a little rose. Actually, let me get rid of this. I'm still practicing. Here's a little rose. Oh, thank you very much. And good night.
Bye.